And even though like I pushed them away and I didn't talk to them, they were always there. You need people. You can't do this by yourself, because there are plenty of nights where I didn't want to do this anymore. You get painkillers. I got painkillers from surgery. I got painkillers just given to me just because of pain, and I don't take them anymore because I basically got addicted to oxys and Percocets. And it wasn't just because I was in pain, it was because my body hurt, but my head, my mental hurt even more. I felt like so I literally just filmed a intro for this video and I had to delete it because I just felt like it wasn't as genuine or as personal as I want this video to be. I was diagnosed with endometriosis when I was 15, and it's been a long journey from 15 till now. Even before 15, when you just have symptoms of stuff that don't add up to anything and you just think it's normal and then you realize it's not. I usually try to film really entertaining content for you guys. Fun videos for people to go watch and feel good. And not saying that this video will not make anyone feel good, but this video is going to be more of me sharing my story. I don't just want to be someone on YouTube who's just doing crazy shit for people to watch you. That's not my goal. I want to entertain, so that's part of it, but I want to educate and share as much of myself. And this has been a big part of my life, and it's changed a lot of my life. I'm still dealing with not just the medical side, but the emotional side. It affects my friendships, it affects my relationship, it affects my relationship with my family, let alone my boyfriend. Like, it's a lot, and I wanted to sit down and share as much as my story as I can. If you would like to hear about my journey with endometriosis, whether you have it, whether you don't know about it and you want to be educated on it, whether you just clicked on this and you just want to watch it, just know that I'm not asking for pity. I'm not asking for people to tell me I hope you're okay. I'm not asking for any of that. I just want a light to be shed on this disease. Days you feel sick, right? You think nothing's wrong, and then all of a sudden you go to the doctor and your whole life has changed. This little illness to y'all is life-changing to me. It's altered everything that I know. It altered everything that I love. It altered everything in myself in which I thought I knew and I thought I loved. I had a lot of dreams and goals that were ripped away from me, that I felt like were ripped away from me. I didn't know how to deal with what was going on inside of me, that I projected it on everybody else. And for that, I am truly sorry. If you would like to hear my story and just follow my endometriosis journey, then please keep watching. Hello, whoever's watching, to feel like it's just us. And I don't mind crying or like letting this down for this, because this is really important. Let's just go back to the beginning. So when I was around 7, 8, I got my period. I don't know the exact age, but I'm pretty sure it was really early. And I would get my period around like every 4 months or every 3 months. I would get my period after that. It wasn't constant, it wasn't all the time. It was crippling. Anytime I got my period, I missed at least 2 days of school, which that was a red flag right there. If a period should never be crippling to the point where you have to call out of work, call out of school, any of that. And to me, I'm just thinking, oh, I'm little, I have my period, like my mommy says it's painful, like this is normal. As I grew up, I had really bad, my body would swell up really bad for days, and I would always go to the hospital and the doctor, and they would do all these allergy tests and stuff, and they would say I'm not allergic to anything. Later to find out that it was hormonal and my body was just reacting to what was going on inside of it. Things add up later that you don't even know will add up later, and it just made so much sense now to me. So the Breona before she found out that she had this, I was really outgoing. I was I asked a lot of questions. I had a lot of goals. I took school really seriously. I was just my mom said I had a spark inside of me that she saw go out when I found out I got sick. So I used to dance, I used to sing, I used to act, I used to do musical theater. That was it for me. That was my goal. I wanted to perform, I wanted to sing, and I wanted to dance, and I wanted to be on stage and for everybody to watch. Fast forward, I'm now in a performing arts high school. I am now doing a show that is now off Broadway, in the Heights by Lin-Manuel Miranda. I was about 14, I was turning 15, and we had rehearsals every day, and we had hours of rehearsals, hours. And I remember my character was Gala, for anybody who's familiar with the show. The day I was in so much pain and I couldn't get up. I laid on the dance room floor and I could not get up. And to me, I'm like, this is period pain, or this is just stomach pain. Like, I'm fine. And I didn't miss a day of rehearsal. We have rehearsals for 6 months. I did not miss one rehearsal until the next day after that because I went to the hospital. Fast forward to the next day, I went to the hospital. I had a bunch of tests done and it came back that I had appendicitis. So I was like, oh, bitch. The doctor coming out, and she, you know, like, you're not allowed to talk in front of the kids because I was young, so she asked my mom to talk to her. And the whole time, like, I couldn't see their faces, but I couldn't hear what they were saying. She looked like she felt so bad for my mom, or for me. She just looked like she felt so bad. I'm there like, this is my appendix, shorty, you ain't gotta worry, we good. And after she talks to her, and she's like, we can leave now. And I'm like, what you mean? Like, I was just getting my appendix out. What happened? Y'all fixed it? Okay. So I put my clothes on, we get in the car, and it was just like a weird blanket of silence I didn't like. So I was like, okay, like, we could talk, what's up? Told me that the lady came out, and what she was showing my mom was my sonogram results, and she was saying that she does not have appendicitis. She has more than, I think it was more than 2. It was more than 2 at the first, more than 2 ovarian cysts. Cyst is basically a sac of liquid. So I had about 3 of those in my uterus. I was 14, so kids weren't on my mind, but my mom mentioned it in the car. She was just like, I don't know, people who have that, like, in your uterus, like, that's not okay, that's where you carry children. And I'm young, but I'm not like oblivious, like, I know that. But I was just like, I didn't think anything of it because I'm like, I'm 14, like, it's not that serious. So after that, I started seeing the head of Columbia's gynecological unit, all of that. I had a lot of, it's very expensive as well. So for the next couple of months, I just spent going to the doctor, trying to change my hormone levels. Basically, I was on progesterone, which stops your period completely. I had been on that. I was on estrogen to stop bleeding. I was on a whole bunch of different medications to try to basically make my life more comfortable. So I could wake up, and I used to wake up in so much pain. Like, walking was hard. I would take the elevator. I live on the first floor, and people would be like, you're like, why are you taking the elevator? You're lazy. I'm like, I am just so tired, and I'm in so much pain right now that I look fine, but no one understands. And then at the time, I wasn't diagnosed with anything yet. I just had, they told me I had the cyst, and then I was just seeing the doctor to, like, basically make my life easier, but we didn't know what it was. And so people can tell you that they think you have the symptoms of it, da-da-da-da, but I honestly feel like before you freak yourself out or accept anything to get a laparoscopy, a laparotomy, something like that. That's what I had. He tested tissues and burn out any tissue that you may need. He basically came to the conclusion that medication was not helping me. My nausea was really bad, my bloating was really bad. I would wake up and not be able to do anything. I did go and perform in the show. So, like, that show, I finished rehearsals, like, the show, it was amazing. That was one of the most, that was basically almost the last time that I was on stage and happy and comfortable. So I had a laparotomy surgery. It's exploratory surgery to basically burn out any if there is endometriosis, burn it out, and then just test to see if it is positive for that. So they ended up taking out a lining of some of the lining of my stomach because it had spread to my stomach, and basically just testing it. It did come back positive for endometriosis. Now, it's life after that that not fell apart, but that was the turning point for me. So I got diagnosed with endometriosis. I had surgery and I was home for 4 or 5 months. I was homeschooled. So I was home half of my sophomore year of high school. All the friends that I had, they moved on. People know you're sick they call you, they come see you at first, but then their life goes on and you can't be mad at them for that. I gained about 75 pounds from just being home and eating and being on medicine. I could not even shower for myself for a little bit. I couldn't walk myself to the bathroom. My mom had to take off 2 weeks of work to just be with me, but I was here for 4 months, and the rest of the time my grandpa would come every day, and him and my homeschool teacher were here, and I would do school for 3 hours a day, and then the rest of the time I would just sleep or eat and just be in my own pity, I guess. I'm sorry if I look like I'm laughing at the same time. I'm really bad with emotion like lately, so I laugh instead of crying, because what am I gonna do? I'm gonna cry the whole time. 4 months. In those 4 months I gained a lot of weight. Mentally I was just really fucked up because everyone that I thought will be waiting for me when I got back to school, it just wasn't the same. No one sat at the same lunch table anymore. Literally ate lunch every day when I went back to school with my math teacher at the time, Miss Nashino. Hello. And after that I slowly got back into the routine of like, I made different friends. I had some of the same friends, but after that I still wouldn't open up to people. After I went back to school, I did one more musical. I did a production of Aida, the same Kids Play Boys and Girls Club that J-Lo grew up in and cast in the performing arts program, the same one she was in. So we used to do musicals every year and stuff like that. So we did Aida, and like regular old musical, like these are rehearsals like days in, days out, nighttime, missing some school. The love I had for this is not gone. It's still there, but I cannot do what I used to be able to do. And I've never said this, but I'm gonna say it now. I was good. I was really good, and I tried really hard to be what I got to be. And I genuinely just feel like it was all for nothing. Like, I fell in love with this art, and my body couldn't do what I wanted it to do anymore, but my mind was still in it. So after that I was just really nasty. I was negative and I was in so much pain. Experience with pain after diagnosis. So I have a really bad immune system. So I work with kids. I work with kindergarten kids, and they get sick all the time. If they cough on me, if you have a cold and you cough on me, I will catch pneumonia, and I'm not even lying. I get sick at least once a month, once every month and a half, and it's really bad. I've gotten the flu like 4 times in the last 3 years, which I don't understand. And just things that are already like hard for the average person, it's like I just feel like I can never, like, I don't get a chance. Pain with sex, sexual intercourse, and bleeding is also very bad. Sex is enjoyable, it's not just always bad, but there are times where it just hurts. You don't want to ever make your partner feel like you're not a burden, but just like you have an issue, like you're an issue. Like, sex is supposed to be enjoyable and fun and just good. There has been a time where like I'll have sex and I'll bleed really bad. Not in my relationship now. I love him with all my heart and soul, but where I bleed, and I would just feel so bad about myself, even though I had no control over it. And it's because, not because the person was an asshole, maybe because they were an asshole, but they weren't educated on what was going on. Irregular bleeding, my periods aren't regular. Like, I'll get a period once, like I'll be steady every month with a period, and I won't get a period for like 5 months. Which you guys are sitting there saying, oh, that's great, you don't get your period. But when you do get your period, it's to the point where they put me on medication to make sure I never got it again. I'm not nauseous right now, thank God, but I'm nauseous pretty much every day for most of the day. It has gotten to the point where I smoke marijuana. We all know this because I post it on my blogs. Most of that isn't just for fun. I don't just smoke, because smoking marijuana actually does, and I've talked to my doctors about this, it helps me eat. It helps me deal with a lot of anxiety that I have from this, but mostly it helps me eat. There have been days where if I didn't smoke or just left it up to my body, I didn't eat for like 5 days. I would eat something small, but I wasn't even hungry. I was just so nauseous and felt so sick that I didn't want to eat anything. There was a time I was sick and I lost like 15 pounds in 2 days. And it sounds crazy, but I cannot make this shit up. Pain is really bad. I have really bad knee pain and back pain, especially flying. One time it happened where my back hurt so bad that I thought I was gonna die, and I'm not even kidding. Abdominal pain, obviously. The endometriosis pain, if I try to explain it to people, it is like your body is basically fighting all the endometriosis lining that is inside of your uterus. So it's like contractions that you have when you give birth. You see people have women have contractions to give birth. You're basically in that pain all the time. Your body is basically trying to push out all of this scar tissue and all of this stuff that's not supposed to be there. I'm going to read the definition of endometriosis so that we can have a better idea. It's an often painful disorder in which tissue that normally lines the inside of the uterus grows outside. So all of the lining of your uterus that usually comes out with your period monthly doesn't just stay in your uterus and come out. It grows, so it builds up outside of it. And imagine, none of that can leave. So it's just toxic. And then it's just like, I always describe it as weeds in a garden. So you always have to pick your weeds so that it doesn't kill all your flowers, right? The endometriosis is basically weeds in there just killing all of your healthy inside of you. So like your fallopian tubes, your uterus, everything that's in there is basically being affected by all this scar tissue, a uterus lining that is not coming out. Endometrial tissue can spread beyond pelvic organ. My endometriosis has spread to my stomach, the lining of my stomach, which they took out some of it when I had my first surgery. And it now has spread to my colon, so, which is TMI, I'm sorry. Using the bathroom and stuff like that is already hard because endometriosis can cause constipation and stuff, especially with all the medication. But the fact that it's spread there, surrounding tissue can become irritated, eventually developing scar tissue and adhesions. Abnormal bands of fibroid tissue that can cause pelvic tissue and organs to stick together. So endometriosis can get so severe that your organs can literally just stick together because of all this nastiness that is inside of you not coming out. Endometriosis can cause pain, sometimes severe. Hello. This is where I get really emotional. And please bear with me, bear with this crazy story. I don't even know if you guys can follow it, but when it hits the kids department, I am 21 years old. I was not thinking about kids when I was 14. When you have this, not only is it sad for you to have to be like, okay, I may not be able to have children, but to sit there and look at someone that you love and want to have kids with and tell them like, I don't know if this is gonna happen for us, or just, I get sad when I get around baby sections. I get sad when my friends or people I know get pregnant, and it sucks because I'm happy for them, but I'm sad for me because I don't know if I'm gonna have that. And most recently it's hit me a lot because, Ariel, if you're watching this, I have a boyfriend, and like, I've never been this happy with myself and with someone else, and the thought of not being able to have a baby one day that I know will be his, it sucks because I want to give him that, and a woman is supposed to be able to have a baby. Like, that is what it's supposed to be, and that's something I deal with. And I tell myself all the time that that's not all we are, that's not all we're here for. We are capable, we are amazing, and we are like built for greatness and not just babies. If you don't have someone who's supportive in your corner, that you're with, that understands that, it will be hard. I had a miscarriage once with Ariel, and it was about a couple months ago, and he's in the Marines, so he was in the field, and I was alone going through it, so I didn't know how to handle it. I didn't really tell my friends the severity of it. Like, I say it, but I don't go into detail. You can't talk because you don't want to put your burden on them, and you feel like they may not understand. And it's like, I never want my friends or my people to feel like they need to take care of me. I'm getting all over the place, but yeah, so kids, it's different for everybody. My case is just gonna be harder for me to have a baby than the average person. But I have hope, and if you keep me in your prayers, please. That is something that I really want for me and you know who. So and self-doubt. Remember, I was active, I was happy, I wanted to sing. I still just want to sing, but I wanted to sing, and I just wanted to dance. And imagine that was the one thing I did from 6 years old till I graduated high school. Well, until I got sick. I kind of gave up after that, but that was the hardest, that is still the hardest thing for me to deal with, because that's all I did. I went to performing arts high school. I decided that that's what I wanted to do when I got out of high school. That's what I wanted to go to college for. I just wanted to sing. And I gave it up because I could barely walk up a flight of stairs. I could barely shower by myself. So even if I could have did it, my mind was so far gone. Like it was just, it wasn't gonna happen for me. I decided to go to BMCC for paramedics instead of Pace University for performing arts or musical theater. And then I failed out because I would go to school every day and cry on the floor in front of my classroom, because it's like being somewhere for something and my soul is just creative. I don't know, I didn't know what else to do. School, that's school. Work is hard because you have to work, right? You need money, you need to support yourself. There are days I can barely walk out of bed, and I'm an assistant teacher, so like I have to do a lot. I have to cater to these little kids that, keep in mind, maybe that's why I work with kids. I don't know. They're not mine, but a part of me feels like they are. They're in kindergarten and they are bright and shiny, and I just want them to stay that way. If I'm sick, you know, people lie for all different reasons to get days off, and I was like, I wish I was lying. I really do. So that's work. Okay. I have been in 2 serious relationships. One was before this one and one is this one. The one before that, he was very supportive of it, but he was uneducated about it for the most part. So comments were ignorant that didn't think about how they made me feel. Like, and then I also felt like I didn't want to open up to anybody about it. I was not ready. But this relationship, going into it, I made it very clear in the beginning, I don't know if I can have kids. That's the first thing you gotta say, and I always say it first, even though I'm just talking to somebody, just because God forbid, you don't know where it's gonna go, and I don't want anyone to feel like I took that choice away from them when now you're in love with me, and then you really want kids from the person you're with physically, and I can't give you that. He's very supportive, and this is what you need in any type of illness, anybody. Very supportive of me, very understands when I'm not feeling well. He's the first person to buy me weed if I need it, because he knows that I need it. And I think that's why the baby thing hit me more now. You may not feel it early if you're someone like me who got diagnosed early, but you'll feel it when you're in love, looking at somebody and wanting to give them everything, including a child, one day, and you don't know if that's gonna happen. And I have a lot of guilt with that. I've never told him this, but I have a lot of guilt with that, because like I don't want to be that. I don't want to be that person that takes that away. Like, you love me so much, I love you so much. It's half of us in a little person. There are other ways of having kids, which also I have. So in order for a woman to have IVF, which is in vitro fertilization, a cycle is 12,000, or can be as much as 15,000, or as low as 10,000, which is still a lot. Average cost of surrogacy can range from $90,000 to $130,000. Now, for a man to clip himself and get a vasectomy, costs anywhere between $0 to $1,000 for you to not be able to have kids ever again. Is that much. But for me, someone who, look at how much money that's not even counting medical bills for the endometriosis itself. There are a lot of things that people think, like pregnancy cures endometriosis. That's a myth. Hysterectomy cures endometriosis. That's a myth. I've been offered a hysterectomy multiple times, take out everything and you'll be better, but I'm not gonna give up on me possibly having my own babies. And I think that there's so much change going on that to offer me that is disrespectful. Offers me, people have told me that's what you need, and I don't think that's true. Everybody's different. You don't need to be diagnosed. You do, because you can be living, having all these symptoms, and it could be something else. Get yourself checked. Affects an estimated 1 in 10 women during their reproductive years. 1 in 10 women have endometriosis, but yet there are still so many unanswered questions. So many people aren't getting diagnosed. So many people are begging doctors to look at certain things. Like, people should not have to go and look up all this stuff and bring it to you and tell you I may have this. Like, look for it. It's common. People don't, like, doctors just look past women complaining about things because we're women. And most of us are minorities. Hello. Sorry. Like, whatever. I've also had IUD, and IUD is an intrauterine device, the thing they put inside. So it's usually the Breona, which secretes a certain amount of hormones so that it can help my endometriosis. But guess what? It came out. The whole point of me sharing this stuff was to basically tell you, this is hard. Endometriosis is a lot. This video will not even cover half of what I've been through and what a bunch of women in America and all over the world are going through. I am still finding a piece of me that I lost when I was 15. Part of me wishes I was never diagnosed and I lived in this bubble and not knowing what was wrong with me, because then maybe I would have became everything that I wasn't scared to become before. Don't open up to people anymore because I just keep everything inside, and that's not healthy. Like, regardless of what it is, if it's a medical condition or just depression or anything, just being sad, like, you need to talk to somebody, because I'm to the point now that I can't even force myself. I literally have to work with myself every day to talk to the people that I love the most, and I never want anybody to get to that point. People used to look at me like I was messed up and that something was wrong with me all the time, and he's the first person not to. And even if he wasn't my boyfriend and he's just a person, like, I would say thank you. I have a really good group of friends that support me through no matter what, and even though, like, I pushed them away and I didn't talk to them, they were always there. You need people. You can't do this by yourself, because there are plenty of nights where I didn't want to do this anymore. I got painkillers just given to me just because of pain, and I don't take them anymore because I basically got addicted to Oxys and Percocet. It was because my body hurt, but my head, my mental hurt even more. I have endometriosis. Endometriosis does not have me. You have whatever you have that does not have you. Life is beautiful, and I love water. I love water because I like to look at water, and sitting on a beach and just looking at still water, or mountains. I love mountains. When I look, it's just like everything is beautiful, and everything has been so ugly and nasty since I was 14 years old. That now I'm finally deciding to see the sun again. People used to tell me that I was like that. I was the sun, I was the spark, and then after I got sick, it was gone. And I'm finally starting to sing again, and smile again, and trust people again. I had a really bad relationship with my family because I was just nasty, and they knew why, but they didn't understand. Endometriosis it's looked at as this little thing, and it's bigger than that. This has changed my whole life. Then I'm sorry if this isn't the most educative video about everything endometriosis is. I will shoot a different video for that. But this is just me giving you all of me that I can give you. And that's why I started doing YouTube, was to share, not just put all this jokes and stuff. I'm like, I'm funny, I'm trying to be entertaining. That's part of it, but I want y'all to know me and know everything I am and love me for that too, not just to make you laugh. But even like the 40 people who watch some of these, the 1,000 who watch the other one, thank you for watching this, because you're one person, but that's all I need is one person to hear me. I've felt like nobody has heard me for years, and I would lay in this bed right here and I would just cry and I wouldn't tell nobody. I went from performing in front of all these people, being the most confident person, to be stripped down to a person who is so sick that they peeing on themselves in the bathtub, to someone who had to have someone holding them up in the shower. And I lost all of my pride in myself. Like, everything I built up to make myself feel was just ripped away. And I don't want that to happen for anyone. And I don't want this to continue for me. So I don't know if this, I had all these papers with all this stuff planned to tell you, and I literally dated everything and had everything written out and all this stuff to educate y'all, and all that shit went out the window when I started talking. So all of that I could think to tell y'all and get out in this little video to send any type of message. So thank you for listening to me, watching me cry. Like, I hope you grabbed the box and cried with me. But I don't want to cry anymore, and I want to be happy, and I want to do everything that I want to sing, I want to dance, and I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it as good as I used to, but I want to start trying. And I want y'all to follow me on this journey, and I want y'all to silently root from the laptop or your phone or whatever. This world is nasty, and we all going through shit that we don't have control over. So let's just be good people to each other. Let's just agree to do that. At least try. Like, there's so much nasty shit going on that we don't need no more. So I'm gonna try to shoot more of an educated video and go over like medicine and side effects and stuff that I actually like hands-on know. I just wanted this to be for those of y'all that are watching this to know me, and this is part of what happened to me. So thank you guys for watching me. Thank you for supporting me. No matter how many, 1, 2, 3, 40, 30,000, I don't care. Anybody that's watching me, I appreciate. And I want to take this time to thank everyone in my life, my mom, my sister, my grandpa, my brother, even though they get on my nerves, my nieces, all my friends, my group of friends, my boyfriend, my friends and my boyfriend and my family have been there. My boss at work, my kids that I see every day know when Miss Breona is not okay. And without all this, I'm not gonna lie, I probably wouldn't be here. And I'm not saying that to sound crazy. Like, people go through shit and to the point where they don't know what to do with themselves anymore. And I've gotten to that point where, like, this wasn't worth it. But it's worth it now. And I know that it always has been. I just didn't see it. And I don't want to be that nasty bitch no more. I don't want to be the girl without the spark. Like, I want it back, and I'm gonna get it back. So thank you for watching. I love all of y'all. Please don't take any nasty screenshots of me ugly crying, because I know where it came from. Alright, I love you guys. I'll see you guys in future videos. Bye.